Here, and I'm just doing a quick walk through my orchard and just showing kind of what's changed throughout. I think the last walk I did was over a year ago, so I just kind of want to show the changes that have happened in the orchard throughout that time. So here's a quick look at it. If I pan through it here, and you see I had to replace a few trees right here. These guys are first year plantings. And these ones are, this is Arctic Rose, Arctic Queen, and Arctic Jay. They're all nectarines. I had to replace them because of certain rootstock. As you see, I've lost the Arctic Glow, which is on a citation rootstock, and I'm probably going to have to replace the Arctic Star over here. But at least that's something I've learned about the rootstock, is I can't really have citation around here. It works okay on like the Pluots and stuff like that. As you can see, most of these Pluots, most of these guys are on citation rootstock. And I've also lost this little spicy nectar plum here. But as you can see, these ones over here, these are first year plantings, and these are on Lovell, and you can see they're still doing pretty good. You see the red leaves, this guy especially. Now there's kind of it's the end of summer, so we're starting to get a little bit more growth here. And the main thing for me is just survive summer, and then you'll be able to get a little bit more growth there to end the fall, and hopefully get a little bit more fruiting within. So I just got done trimming the trees for the most part. I tend to like to trim them so I have a nice walkway down here. I don't really care if they're I don't really care so much how they grow in here in between the rows, because you see I plant them pretty close together, just as long as they don't kind of cross into each other. These right here are my plums. This is this one right here is an elephant heart. This one's a Laredo. You can see looks like he's fixing a flower right there. You can see he kind of struggled to end the year. He's kind of a little dried up right here. And then the Satsuma, I just cut this guy down quite a bit. He is a mammoth. And I cut most of my nectarines down. And the apricots too, you can see these ones are doing pretty good. They kind of struggled a little bit. I'm hoping they kind of rebound a little bit here and catch back up. But I'll probably need to trim a little bit more in here just to kind of clear out my walkway a little bit. Overall though, the trees are getting great size on them. You can see this guy right here, the Laredo. He's still growing a little bit. Let me give you a little bit more organization though. This guy right here, this is the Candy Heart Pluary. He's massive. Get next to me here. I cut him down. He was quite a bit bigger, but I'm trying to keep him a little bit lower here. And you can see this guy, he kind of got a little bit of burn on him there, so he's kind of oozing out a little bit of sap there. Hopefully he recovers from, I think it's just a little bit sunburned, he'll be fine. And the Burgundy Plum right here, this guy is a really heavy fruit setter. He's doing extraordinarily well. I love these guys. A pretty good plum, no tartness with it, and a nice purple plum. And you can see here, he's pretty big. And this one right here is an Arctic Sweet. I haven't got any fruit off this one yet, so I can't really get any reviews about that. This right here is another Pluary. I didn't realize just how far I let him go. He was a lot bigger than this last year, but unfortunately he died back quite a bit and I had to cut him down. And so he's recovering nicely. He's, you know, quite a bit shorter than his surrounding trees. And this guy right here, he hasn't really grown that much this year, but he is a good piece of fruit right here. This is a spring satin Plumcot. A really nice piece of fruit, really quick to ripen. And then you can see right here, the Dapple Dandy. This guy, I still haven't got any fruit off him yet, but he is just massive. An interesting thing about the Dapple Dandy and the Flavor Supreme, you know, most of the Pluots are kind of like plums, where they grow kind of upright. Plums are very upright growers. But both the Dapple Dandy and the Flavor Supreme, you can see the Flavor Supreme right here, they tend to grow out. See all that outward growth? Outward vigorous growth. they tend to do a lot of it, whereas you can see the splash right here, very narrow growth, very straight, and the flavor, this one's the flavor right here, very straight growth. But you get to like the flavor supreme, and you can see it grows out. And the flavor queen, once again, very compact, very straight up. A lot of growth here to the middle apparently. And the peaches, they of course, they tend to kind of grow out too. So you can see with the peaches, they kind of interrupt each other's growth right here. I can't really have a center line. But for these, I want to wait till they defoliate so I can kind of get more detailed on the trimming. Because right now, I just try to clear my walkway. So I have clear paths to walk through and I don't have to push a bunch of trees out of the way. So once they start to lose their leaves, then I'll make cuts. Like I don't mind cutting this one off right here. And then just kind of trying to get that growth inward. I'll probably cut this one right here, and then I'll cut this one probably right there where that outward bud is. Try to grow it inward. But overall, not too bad. You can see where I made some cuts. This tree is much bigger. I just want to kind of cut them down to where they're about 6 foot range, because I kind of like keeping them about the 8 foot range. This one right here is a flavor heart pluot. And right here is my flavor king. You can see flavor king, it tends to get a little bit more sunburn than some of the other pluots, which is fine. I try to cut it off. And then my flavor finale, he didn't grow a whole lot this year compared to what he did, but I did cut off quite a few branches due to sunburn, because anytime I see sunburn on there, I try to cut it off because I feel like it's a weak point. And then I have my 2 flavor grenades right here, which kind of had a little bit of leaves die and stuff towards the end of last year. But definitely, I definitely cut it down a lot because I want to try to get a little bit more. I want to try to get a little bit more growth to the end of the year here. I'm hoping for some better branch structure, so I can maybe kind of do a little bit more with them. Because, you know, I mean, the tall, vigorous growth, like, if I take you over here, this growth right here, you can see that's like 8.5 feet tall, and I really don't have a lot of branch structure. I'll probably cut it down to about right here, or actually right here, where I have a inward growing, where I have a branch growing towards the other tree here, not into the aisle, because this one's growing into my walkway. So I'll probably use that one right there so I can kind of blow the growth out that way and trim that one down. But I kind of like them to be a little bit shorter. I mean, you can see this guy, he's about my height right here, about 6 foot. I like to kind of keep them in there and kind of control the branch structure from there and kind of get them to come off the branches like that. And this guy right here is the Sweet Treat Pluary. Very good piece of fruit right here. A very nice tree. Him, I really didn't do a whole lot with as far as trimming. I like his, I like the way he's designed. He doesn't really have a lot of inward competing growth in here. He pretty much goes out into the sideways kind of areas that I have set aside. So he's also got a lot of fruit in him, so I don't want to cut him back a whole lot, but he's kind of in the height range I'm looking for, and so I wouldn't mind kind of getting a more branch structure in here, kind of thicken this up a little bit to help protect against sunburn and stuff like that. And this guy right here, he flowered like crazy last year, but because this is a Candy Heart Pluary, but the only thing I had coming out with him was it was a Flavorosa Pluot, which those two don't cross-pollinate apparently. So I've got to have something else come out around the same time. My Burgundy Plum, which is right next to him, he did not come out. He came out a little bit after. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to cross-pollinate, so I still have not gotten to try the Candy Heart Pluary. And I still have yet to get to try my Cotton Candy Aprium, which is right here. He had some flowers, but the flowers dropped off and no fruit set this year. I actually haven't had any luck with my Apricots so far, or Apriums, but I have had some flowers on That first one was a Royal Blenheim apricot, and then I had some flowers on cotton candy. I didn't have any flowers on the other Apriums, which is Summer Delight, Leocott, and then a Harcot apricot. But overall, I mean, they've grown a little bit this year. I've tried to keep them down, but I was happy with the fruit production. The main trees that produce the most fruit right here were the Burgundy Plum and my Sweet Tree Pleury, which is right over here. Both these two definitely made me proud. And the Flavor Grenades did pretty good. These two guys, which they're pretty small. I got quite a few Pluots off these ones. I'll say between the two, probably about close to 40. And then I didn't have anything off my Flavor Finale. Really didn't get any flowers off of him. And the Flavor King, I got 2 pieces of fruit off him. Neither one quite made it to the ripe state. And my June Gold, this guy produced quite a few peaches. And the Florida Kings, they produced quite a few peaches. And then I actually didn't have my my big boy over here, which is a Sam Houston peach. He actually did not produce this year. But this one right here next to him, the Lorraine, produced, and the Sugar May. And this Sugar May is a pretty cool peach. I really like it. It's a red flesh. It's pretty good. And then you can see I didn't have a lot of growth on these ones right here. That one's a Belgo Picatum. And then this one is a peach. Let me remember. Let me pull out the tag. I put the tags underneath the mulch for an easy reference here. There you go. Can you see that? I believe it's Strawberry Free. Strawberry Free White Peach. But I did have a lot of luck on the Trilite. And then a new addition that really made me proud right here was the Picatum. Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't Picatum, this is Plumcot. I don't remember the exact name of this one, but this is a Plumcot from Zager. It's not like the Spring Satin. So I think it's the Flavorella. That's it. It's the Flavorella Plumcot. He has done quite well for me this year as far as growth. But I just wanted to do a quick little video on my orchard because I haven't done one in quite a while. And I like doing these videos because it kind of lets me see what I had before, where I was at last year, and kind of what I did right and what I did wrong. But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and until next time, thank you.